¿Qué pasa, gente del Estu? Hoy tenemos una entrevista muy guapa con uno de los nuevos fichajes del Estudiantes femenino, con Nneka Ezeigbo. Y bueno, la entrevista es completamente en inglés. Está hecha en videollamada, sí que seguramente no tenga la mejor calidad del mundo, pero es un poco lo que se podía hacer. Aún así, yo creo que sería una entrevista muy chula para que la conozcáis. Y nada, os dejo ya con la entrevista.
So, first things first, I always ask for outside basketball player introduction. Who are you? Who is Nneka?
Okay, me outside of basketball. I am huge on family. My family is my everything. They're what motivate me through basketball, through my hard times. Specifically my mother, but I love my siblings too, of course. I'm a really relaxed person. I think the only thing that makes me emotional is basketball. um,
Happens.
yeah, I'm very go with the flow, and I just enjoy a good time. Like, I like fun activities. I'm also a huge homebody, so if I'm not in practice, I'm probably at home in my room. So that pretty much sums me up.
How is the relationship? Because you are the youngest of three, both of your siblings being also athletes, your sister being basketball player and your brother being American football player. How is like being raised in an athlete household?
I'm actually in the middle. My brother is younger than me by 2 years. Yeah.
Shit.
So I think it's great. That's kind of what started me up, is seeing my sister play basketball and me enjoying it and kind of just growing from there. But I think it's a great atmosphere because we all understand the struggles. We motivate each other. And of course, my parents, they weren't huge in sports. They did play sports when they were younger, but they were like huge where they became professional or anything, but they understand what it takes to be at the level that I'm at, and they're always fully behind me in everything I do.
So your parents are, your mom is Jamaican, your dad Nigerian. Obviously, you were born in New Jersey. How is being raised in like mainly a three culture household? What are you most, Jamaican, Nigerian?
Okay, so I actually get this question a lot. I think because my dad is Nigerian, I kind of see more of his culture, but it's kind of, I wouldn't say it's 50-50, but it's pretty close, because my mom is Jamaican. She's the one who prepares the meals. She's the one who talks about her culture to us, especially a little bit more so after my dad passed. But I think that being Nigerian is kind of more into my life because my Nigerian side of my family is closer in distance to me, and I see them more often. But they try to combine their cultures as much as possible. Yeah, and as an American, of course, I live here, but I was raised as a foreign child, so because of my foreign parents, so it's kind of the same, but it's not really.
Yeah, so you only got the nationality, not the culture.
Yeah, exactly.
So we said so both of your brothers are siblings are into sports. I assume your brother also played basketball growing up with both you and your sister. How was the competition inside the family?
Well, my sister's 6 years older than me, so there was a big advantage for her there. But now that we're older, we do compete sometimes. Of course, since I'm professional, I'm better, but she does give me a really good run for my money. My brother did play when he was in, I think, high school, but that's when he made his transition into football because he hated it. So that I didn't really have to worry about. This just me surviving those little play fights that we have, and once in a while, because he's so strong from playing football.
You got all the competition like needed there for being like a great center inside the thing.
Exactly. That's where I get my training from, at the house.
So you said you were an easygoing person. Do you think that translates into how are you as a player, or you change completely when you play basketball?
I know it's kind of hard to say, but I'd say in every situation I'm pretty calm until provoked. But when it comes to basketball, I try to keep that same mentality on the court as well. I'm not going to say that it works all the time, but I try to implement it as much as possible. I don't think that I'm the same on the court because I have a different drive, a different hunger, and I'm way more emotional. But it's not to the point where I'll ever disrespect anybody or start any trouble.
So yeah, last question about like yourself outside basketball. Then we're gonna see how was your uprise in high school and NCAA. All your season in Spain since you are professional have been in great cities, all with sea. And you say you are a house person. How is that?
Um, it's actually a lot of people get mad at me because when I have downtime, I like to be in my room. So I live in these great cities and they're very beautiful. I do try to explore as much as possible, but at the same time, it's just like, okay, I've seen it. I mean, I would love to go back if you wanted to join me, invite me, yeah, I would come along with you, but I'm rarely taking the initiative to go to the beach or to explore the city. So that's kind of something I've been trying to change lately is going outside more, but
Uh,
it's been difficult.
Hopefully, you get some of your teammates to put some pressure
Yeah, they
on
definitely
seeing
do
Madrid
help.
because I think you're gonna love it. It's a great city.
I've heard
So,
nothing but good.
oh, sorry, yeah.
I said I've heard nothing but great things.
Uh, so yeah, going into like basketball, you said you got into basketball because of your sister.
hmm
You started your, I assume, is local high school, Notre Dame.
hmm
How is growing up in high school in the States? Because here they are like you normally grow up like basketball wise or sports wise. You grow in clubs, usually not in your school.
hmm
How is growing up in a high school in the States?
Okay, I'd say that it kind of is nice because they really try to help prepare you for college. Playing in high school from the beginning, I'd say that I kind of had an advantage because I was tall. But
Mhm.
my skills didn't really develop until college. I know that they have clubs in Spanish. We don't really have those. It's just school teams.
Yeah,
So
probably
we
the
play
closer
those.
you have is like prep academies, but they are also like high school.
Yeah, they have like for our high school we had a team. So it was fine. Not all schools have teams, but most do. And when you get to a certain age, you can play for AAU teams, and
Mhm.
of course they can scout you from there. Yeah, so it was really between the AAU team and the high school team for me, and that's kind of what helped propel me into my college career.
There's something that for me here we don't have it, so it's really something we don't know how it works, and it's the rankings, the 5-star ranking and the ESPN rankings.
Mhm.
How like growing up and going into a more professional phase of basketball, how did
Mhm.
you see that? How were your rankings? How did they like affect you as a person and as a player?
This is from high school.
Yeah, like going in from high school to university, like the rankings.
Okay. Um, back then I didn't know anything about the rankings. I just played basketball, so I feel like I'm the same way to this day. Like I'm not huge on paying attention to the rankings and what's going on around me. Like I don't know things until people come and tell me about them. So going into college, of course, like coaches and scouts have reached out to me and I communicate with them, but asking me about rankings, I had no idea
You
what we
flow,
were,
you
what
play,
I
and
was.
whatever
I didn't.
happens.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about that stuff. I just played. I enjoyed my time and hoped to get into a good college and get a good education at that
That's a
time.
great mentality, to be
Yeah.
honest. No
Yeah.
pressure. That got you into Robert Morris
Mhm.
University. You are probably one of the more important, at least female players in that university, winning a huge number of rookie teams, first teams, Northeast Conference. You have averaged 500 rebounds, 100 steals, points. How were those 4 years in college?
The 4 years there was kind of rough, but it turned me into the player I am now. So I'm not going to say all experience was bad, but I think that it has developed me as a player. It has shaped my drive, and just finding out, just making sure I hone in on the skills, on the skills that I'm good at, being a master of what I do and doing what I do the best I can. So that kind of gave me the motivation to keep maturing my skills and just being there to provide in any way for whatever team I play for.
Why Robert Morris? I assume you got more offers. Why did you choose that university?
One, because I think one of the things that I was looking for in the school was not being too close to home, but not too far from home as well.
Because it's in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it's in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, so that's like a 6-hour drive.
But in the States, it's okay.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
good.
no, in the States is okay.
Yeah. So like not being flying distance, being able to drive, come home when I can. And then also like my coaches who were scouting me made me feel like I could really help them. So that with, the campus was so nice and beautiful. The people seemed really nice, and it wasn't like super big. So I can create connections with my professors and other students pretty easily.
Do you keep any kind of contact with Robert Morris?
Not really.
Not really.
No.
Because we have a Spanish player playing there now, Alvaro Leiras. I don't know if you know it.
No, I haven't seen who's there.
Yeah, so he's great. He remember a bit of you because he also won this year the NEC All Team and Best Player of the conference. I was like, that's like nice having a Spanish player and then you doing the same.
That's awesome.
While you were in Robert Morris, you got 4 times the NEC Academic Honor Roll that people usually don't know, but that's a diploma that is awarded to people that are over 8 in all subjects. So we can say you are a great student also. What's your mentality going into university, focusing on a professional basketball career, but also having that academic brilliance?
Well, if I'm being completely transparent, I wasn't the greatest student in high school. So not behavioral wise, but I didn't know how to study. And that was kind of my biggest obstacle going to college and trying to get good grades, is learning my way of studying and soaking in information. So when I got to college, my foundation was, you need to learn how to study. So once I learned that, it kind of just went off of there. Plus the expectations from our coaches, we weren't allowed to get anything under a B+ on our assignments. So that kind of gave me the motivation and the pressure I needed to get good grades.
It's always really important to like keep that in mind, having like a career behind you if basketball didn't go well. Or was it more like, I have to do this, but like basketball is gonna work and it's gonna be like my priority?
Yeah.
So then you finished Robert Morris and you went into your pro career and you decided to go to Spanish second division. Why did you choose Spain and not any other first division in Europe or in the world?
I did not know how any of this worked. It was just a startup, So based off the offers I had, I kind of just was in communication with my agent. He was helping me through everything, and he was telling me like he thinks it's a great place to start. They have everything I need, and they did. So I think it was a great position to start and work my way up. And I just really appreciate him for that, for kind of like guiding me through from the beginning. So
Yeah, for you was I'm gonna get somewhere, I'm gonna play, and things are gonna work out.
Yeah, like I just try not to stress too much. Whatever is for me will come along.
So you ended up in Unicaja.
Hmm.
Did you know anything about the club prior to when you landed there?
I didn't. I heard that Malaga was a really big and beautiful city. That's what I heard, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna have fun there. And then of course, COVID hit, and I didn't enjoy anything. So
Oh.
I was like, okay, so it's just gonna be me, in the club, of course, and my teammates were really amazing. I enjoyed my time there, of course, even though there
Since you
was a.
landed there, have you get more knowledge about like European basketball? Since obviously Unicaja also has the men team.
Hmm. I think that it was really cool that we connected to such a great men's team,
Mhm.
even though we were very limited because of COVID. But I think that us being connected also helped with like just knowing that you have other things to do, other players on in the same area, and then also people, a part of the club, they have the equipment and everything that we needed to use as well because of the men's team.
How was the feeling of your first season overseas? How, like, if you have to like grade it, how it went?
Mm, I think I had a really great experience. Like everybody was always so welcoming. My teammates were really cool. Like I really didn't have much of a complaint. They had everything I needed. Like from the beginning I didn't know what I was doing, but I felt like I was being guided properly. Like there was there wasn't much of an issue back then. So I really enjoyed my time, especially being that it was my first season. I didn't know how it was gonna go. So I'd say out of 10, maybe like a 8.59. Like
Oh,
yeah,
nice,
it
nice.
was good. I didn't really have any issues.
Ah, that's really good. Then
Mhm.
you moved to Zamora for 2 seasons.
Mhm.
Obviously, big change in city and scenery, but you probably got your best years there, at least stat wise and basketball wise. How do you remember that time in Zamora? Also getting into your first playoff.
The first season, I feel like my first and second season there were kind of the same but different at the same
Mhm.
time. Of course, the second season was a little bit easier because I was already familiar with the atmosphere and some of the players had stayed as well. So I was a bit more comfortable the second season. But the first season, I think it was good. There were some things that were not the best, of
Mhm.
course, but it changed for the second season. And I'd say that I enjoyed the second season a lot more than I did the first. And it kind of showed.
Yeah, so is the only place you've played 2 seasons in a row. Do you, in any other of your teams, do you want to say like, I want to say a second season? I want to see how a second season like goes.
Hmm. If I were to choose out of all of the teams to play another season, I'd probably say Estepona. Yeah, for sure. I was
So
only there for 3 months, but
yeah,
I really, really enjoyed my time there.
yeah, that's really nice because I would say you next season you were in 2 teams. You went to Mallorca and then
Hmm.
Estepona. You played the whole most of the whole season with Mallorca, and then you moved to Estepona for the final. Well, I think it was 9 games and then the playoff.
Hmm.
How is playing in 2 teams in the same season? Because if it's at the middle, it's like okay, winter transfer, but it's going into the end. I assume
Hmm.
you get there knowing you're gonna get playoff, or like you have to fight for that playoff spot. What's your mindset going into that change?
Um, I'd say that it could be difficult, but personally for me, it wasn't super hard um because of how it was when I transitioned into Estepona. They made it very easy for me. Of course, they were very welcome and they were excited to have me there. And they just told me like, just work hard. Like you're a great player. We need you. And that's exactly what I tried to do. I worked hard and I tried to give them my all because why, if they're giving me their all, I want to, return the favor. So going there, I had a great time. I love the people there, the fans, my teammates, the coaching staff, all of the staff. They were all so great. So I would definitely go back and play for them.
It has to be like really weird to like love a place that much and only be there for a few months. It has to be
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I was like, wow, why didn't I just come here from the start?
well, at least that got your first chance to play in Spanish First Division. First
Mhm,
time in any kind of first division in Europe in overseas basketball.
mhm.
You went into to Gran Canaria. How I assume I'm gonna ask how was your mindset. I'm assuming what was your mindset going to Canarias, but how is the step up? How is the change of level going into the first division?
Mm, my mentality was, this is gonna be hard, but I'm gonna try my best, and whatever happens, happens. So that's kind of how it all started. You have to really fight for what you have. Nothing is
Mm.
given to you, and of course that applies for everywhere, but especially for somebody coming from challenge and going to the first league, it can be really difficult, but I think that I did a good job of
Yeah,
just showing my just trying to show my talents and bringing what I can to the table in every aspect. So
I obviously didn't know you that much at the start of the season. I tried to like know a bit of all the players.
mhm.
I got to know you the first time you played Estudiantes. That was a game. How do you remember that game? Because you were some nightmare for us.
I If I'm being honest, I don't remember all the details, but I do remember being there because, of course, I know Issa from playing with her previously. And I did enjoy playing against her. And I tried, well, of playing against her team. And I just tried to do my best. And I think I did perform pretty well that game, if I can remember.
Yes, yes. I can't remember, and yes, that was a game. Because then the second one, it was really good also, but it was less at least in the stats. But I remember the
Mhm.
first one was it was crazy.
Yeah. I'm glad that it was something to remember. So.
I'm glad you are now here, so I don't have to remember something like this season.
Yeah.
So I was saying you got an absolutely great season this year with Canarias. You got pre-selected to Revelation Player for La Revelación. How
Mhm.
was like knowing that? Is there like important to you getting this recognition, or is like I don't care, I'm doing my job?
Of course, nobody's gonna be like, "Oh, I don't care about this," but like, I was really excited to hear about it because I didn't know until, of course, my teammate had told me. And I was like, "Oh, okay, this is amazing!" Like, I'm glad that people, of course, are recognizing the work I'm putting in, and they nominated me for. I'm being recognized for, everything. So, I was really excited about it. Not winning it, of course, I was like, it doesn't bother me, but of course it would have been great to win, but I'm just happy that I was nominated. Like, I've come a
Mhm.
long way and people are noticing the amount of work I'm putting in, so I'm just kind of happy to be here.
How because we've seen that you are really good player in both ends of the court, and like offensively and defensively. What's your mindset going into a team? Are you more defensively, I'm gonna do a good job, and then
Mhm.
offensively things will go, or are you gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna score points, and then like defensively, I know I'm big, I know I'm good. How do you go? What do you work more, or is like the same in both?
I try to focus on both ends of the court. Because if I do well defensively, it comes offensively. If I'm doing offensively, it will come defensively. But my primary focus is defense, and then offense can come along, of course, when it can. So, of course, focusing on scout, focusing on what I have to do defensively to stop the player that I'm guarding, but also knowing that I have to provide offensively, being a presence inside in the paint. So it's kind of the same, but it's a different focus for each side of the court.
You enjoy more defense.
Yeah, I do. I really like guarding players that bang in the post that are very physical because it's kind of what I'm good at. So
We have a few of those in the Spanish league. Who do you remember who might be your toughest opponent this year in the paint?
This upcoming season, or who did I struggle with last season?
This one.
Okay. I'd say my biggest struggles were Pierre Louise, for sure. She is very strong. Also, Koulibaly, she's a really good post as well. So those were probably my bigger challenges during the season.
We haven't talked about this. I wanted to ask. I assume you follow WNBA.
Mm.
I assuming, but you are maybe a Liberty.
Maybe. Why do you say that?
But maybe because you're close to New York.
Oh, of course. Well, if I'm being completely honest, I'm not huge on watching basketball, even though I do play basketball. But I do follow the page and kind of see things that go on through that. So honestly, if the WNBA were to look at me, I wouldn't care where I went. Just happy to play for a team.
Makes sense. Is there any player that you look up to in the NBA, WNBA, or in any league, or even NBA, maybe men?
I'm not a player that I would emulate because I feel like I don't really focus on trying to emulate someone else. I kind of focus on mastering my own skills. But a player that I admire and appreciate a lot is Asia Wilson.
Yeah, good choice.
She is a dog.
Yeah, she's not like what is 4 or 5 times MVP. Like
she's amazing.
So now coming to this season, you get to Estudiantes. Did you know anything about what's Estudiantes in Spanish basketball history, or are you like completely new?
Completely new.
You have to ask Isa to tell you some things.
Yeah, honestly, I was just gonna ask everything I needed to know when I got there. When I meet everybody, what do I need to know? Like, what's it like?
So yeah, get the whole tour.
Yeah, and kind of just create my own experience there. So
nice. So how was the process of getting signed by Estudiantes? Like, it finished the season, they call you. It was easy.
It came really early, actually. They had given me an offer, and at first I was close to saying no because I was like, it's really early. I don't know what I'm gonna get, But as I kept thinking about it, I was like, this is like a really good team to, try to prove myself again. And of course, it being in such a big city, them being in is it Euro Cup, Euro League, one of them. Yeah, so I was like, okay, this is gonna be a great opportunity. So, to perform on a bigger stage, being in a big city, and then also possibly playing with somebody I've played before. So after giving it some consideration, I was like, okay, well, if I sign, then I don't have to really worry about anything. I just train and, show up and do my best. So I was like, okay, yeah.
Did you have any conversation with Isa about the decision? It was purely you and your agent.
Yeah, it was just me and my agent. Like I think I was like, okay, if I do sign, I want to surprise Isa with it. So I was like, surprise, like I'm signing to your team. Are you gonna be here with me or
That's probably one of the first things I would ask.
Yeah. So it worked out for the best. I'm really glad that she'll be there to play with me.
Did you know any other of now your future teammates?
I don't actually. I haven't looked. Besides Isa, I don't really know who else is there.
Maybe you don't know, but you are having another American NCAA center with you this year, Olivia. Do you know anything about her prior of her signing? Do you know something more now?
No, I think I've seen a post maybe or a picture of someone else who was coming out of college. So that's all I really know.
Are you gonna be like the mentor because like she's playing for the first time overseas, coming from NCAA?
Right.
it's close to like what you have experienced. Are you gonna try to be like a mentor? Like, how is your mentality in this case?
If that's what she wants, I would happily help, guide her and everything. But if she feels like she has it and she wants to have her own experience and she just wants a friend, I can be that. I don't
Mhm.
mind being there for others. If you have a question, I'll always answer. I'm pretty much an open book. So I'm the type of person where you can come ask me anything and I'll tell you what my honest opinion.
So we said you are gonna play for the first time European competition in Euro Cup. What's like having that next step? Obviously, your mentality is gonna be the same as always,
Mhm.
but how did you get that? Like, I'm gonna have to prove more. I'm gonna face tougher competition.
Yeah, it's a lot of excitement. Of course, this is like my first time performing in EuroLeague, and I'm just excited for the opportunity. Of course, I know that it's going to be really difficult of because it's a different group of girls. It's not just Spain basketball anymore. So just a lot of excitement, a lot of drive, a lot of motivation now because I got to step my game up.
Obviously, we don't know groups or anything right now, but what country or team or anything you wanna visit during this Euro Cup?
Definitely France. Yeah, that's kind of it. I've been excited about France. Oh, and I've
Mhm.
also heard a lot about Turkish basketball, their leagues and everything. So I'm
You're
excited
going to
about.
the toughest competition, man.
Yeah, so I've always wanted to play in those two countries. So that's an exciting
Yeah,
thing.
we probably will have some France and maybe Turkey. They are like probably the toughest competition. We lost last year to Villeneuve, that is the actual champion this
Mhm.
season. So they are a pretty tough competition. So hopefully we can face one and obviously win.
Mhm.
Um, that is really nice. How do you think this season is gonna go?
I think, of course, I'm gonna think that we're gonna do well. We're gonna do a great job. Like that's the mentality I want to go into the season. Is that we're going to do our best from all ends, and we're gonna make it as far as possible. Hopefully, we win everything. But even so, we know that we did our best, and we're not gonna fall short. So.
So yeah, last question. What are your like personal objective for the season?
My objective is to continue to hone in on my skills, of course, becoming a better post, providing exactly what I need for my team, whether that's being physical on the outside or inside, or defending people on the outside if I need to. Maybe try to stretch my game a little bit, so that. But my goal is just to be the best that I can for my team. Like it's always been that way, and it'll always continue to be that way.
Yeah, yeah, we always say like if you do your best, the best is gonna come. So like
Exactly.
hopefully like that's the case.
Hmm.
So I always finish with 10. I always say quick questions, but they don't have to be quick.
Hmm.
More about like basketball questions, but like general questions. So
Hmm.
getting to this, what is your focus in like 5 years? Like basketball focus in the next 5 years?
Mm, in the next 5 years, I hope to be playing at, of course, a higher level. Um, Maybe in a really nice city as well, because that hasn't disappointed me yet. um, and of course, making more money. That's everyone's goal. We're working and we're doing the things we love, but we're also working for money. So, we're always trying to get better in all aspects. But I haven't really imagined myself anywhere. I just hope that it just brings me to bigger and better things.
So yeah, getting into the next stage.
Yeah.
Nice. How is your way of motivating yourself before or like even during a game? Do you have any thing you do, any preparation, or like you go on flow?
I like to listen to music. It depends on how I'm feeling. It could be R&B, it could be gospel, it could be rap music, it could be honestly almost anything. But that messaging my family, of course, letting them know I'm gonna play, but just having them pour positivity and motivation into me before games. Also speaking to myself in a positive way, telling myself like just stay calm, focus on these, and then other things will come. But that's kind of what gets me ready.
What do you think is a challenge you want to accomplish in your basketball career?
Mm, being a champion. Like I've come close so many times, but I've fallen short. So I'm hoping that this team will be the ones to take us there to become, the league champions.
Hopefully, hopefully. We said you've talked with Isa as your new teammate.
Mm.
So get to the next one. And what do you think is the thing you have to work most to improve as a player?
Extending my range. Like everybody knows that I like to play inside the paint, and I don't take that many jump shots during the season. So maybe taking more shots, maybe even extending to the three, but maybe, I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe that will be a goal for this upcoming season.
So this is something I really like to ask people that come to Estudiantes from other places, and it's which player, like teammate you've played in another team, would you bring to Estudiantes with you?
That's a good question. A teammate I would bring. I actually don't have an answer to that question because I have teammates that I've gotten close to,
Mhm.
very close to in the past, but there's just so many. There's maybe like every team I've gotten close to somebody, so I don't know who I would bring.
You have visa,
Having
so
to save
we'll take
myself.
that as the answer.
Yeah. I'm saving myself because if I pick one, they're gonna be like, "Oh, why did you pick me?" Like, nah, sorry.
Yeah, bring them all.
Yeah, I just bring them all.
We talk a bit about this, but what do you think is going to be your role this year in Estudiantes?
Definitely my physicality.
Mhm.
Just being able to guard very strong players in the paint, but also being able to guard smaller posts and taking advantage of my size and my strength inside as well.
And outside the court, in like locker room in the group.
Maybe kind of just being there for the younger players, using my experience. Of course, there's players that are older than me as well. So me being in the middle, it kind of like helps me to learn from the older players, but also give what I've learned to the younger players.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
just being a motivator and kind of just a filler for whoever needs me.
What do you think is more important for success, coaches or the players?
It's a real challenging question. Um, for success, I'd say the players because we do all the dirty work. Of course, it's great to have a great coach because if you don't have a good one, you can't go that far. But if you have really good players, you actually might have a higher chance of making something work.
Mhm. So you still have a lot of years of career, but have you thought about what you're gonna do when you retire? Do you want to like keep in contact in some way with basketball, like being agent or something like that, or coach even, or do you want like to drift apart and go try something else?
I have thought about coaching, but I actually am not completely sure yet. That's something I've been trying to figure out. But in the past, probably 2 years, being a doula has caught my attention.
Mhm.
So maybe being in that field of taking care of women, even women in sports. So
Mhm.
I just need to
Mhm.
hone in and really,
Some way of keeping contact with sports.
yeah.
Nice. And so, yeah, last question. This is something that I really like because usually people always ask if you could say something to your younger self, what would you say? But I always tweak it a bit because for me it's more interesting.
Mhm.
If you could talk to your future self, what would you ask?
I'll probably ask her what can I do to be better? What do you think is the best thing for me to do now to prepare me to get to where you are at then? So yeah, that's probably the question I would ask is, what do I need to do? Just tell me what I need to do so I can be a better version of myself.
So that was all. Thank you very much. It was really fun. Best of luck this season. We'll see you at the start of the season here in Madrid. Hopefully you enjoy the city, you enjoy the team, and hopefully it's going to be a great year. So yeah, thank you very much for coming.
Thanks a lot. Thanks to you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.